Okay, hi Year 10. This is our second lesson on equations with fractions. Now, these will be harder than the last lesson, and there's different techniques I'm going to show you today. Now, in the video today, I'd like you to see if you can do the questions on your own when you feel comfortable. So pause the video at any time, have a go at the question, then press play on the video. Okay, so here's our first question, and I want you to write all this down into your book. Equations with more than one fraction. Okay? The first case we're going to look at is when the equation has one pronumeral term. So, first question, solve these equations. Now I want you to write down the word solution underneath. And I want you to copy the equation down again so that we don't write on top of the original question. Okay? Now, this equation has one pronumeral term. Here it is. Okay? There are two fractions in this equation, but really I'm only worried about the one with the pronumeral term. So, first thing I want to do is get rid of the fraction here. So, that's divide by 5. The opposite of that is times by 5. Times by 5. Cancel the 5s. That gives you 2a plus 4 equals. Now put that into your calculator so you don't make arithmetic mistakes here. That will be 10 over 3. Okay. Now, I've got to get the pronumeral by itself. You notice the plus 4 is on its own, so you're going to get rid of that first. Minus 4, minus 4. Okay, so what does that give us? 4 minus 4 is nothing. You've still got the 2a there. And 10 over 3 minus 4, what will that be? That'll be, we'll get your calculator out, let's do it together. Alright, make sure you use the calculator so you don't make silly mistakes. That should be negative 2 thirds. Let's try it. 10 over 3 minus 4. Negative 2 thirds. I was right. So negative 2 thirds. Okay. Now, I've got a times 2 there. So I want you to see what you can do to get the a by itself. What do you think? The opposite of times 2 is divide 2. So I'm going to divide by 2 both sides. Now if it worries you that I've got two fractions there, you could always go like this, divide by 2. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to be consistent and just go divide by 2. Or you could even go divide by 2 if you like that. Okay, now the 2's cancel. And that gives you a equals, now put this into your calculator, so you're going to go minus 2 thirds divided by 2 equals. That gives you minus 1 third. Okay, so I want you to copy this down into your exercise book, and then I want you to try question 2 on your own. See if you can do it. Okay? Question 2, here it comes. So I'll call these the hashtag questions, the hashtag questions you try on your own. So try this one, 5x minus 2 on 7 equals a quarter. Okay, so try that, see how you go on that one. And of course, write the word solution. There we go. And then write the question out again. This is just for your notes, by the way, just so that it's nice and neat. Okay, so pause the video, try this question. If you're still not making sense, keep playing the video if you want, but I want you to have a go at this on your own first. Okay, I've got two fractions. I just want to get rid of the divide by 7 here, so times by 7. Make sure your times 7 is in line with the numerator. Right, because you're cancelling, times 7 there, you're cancelling a numerator with a denominator. Cancel, cancel. Now, that gives you 5x minus 2 is equal to 7 over 4. Alright, now what's the next step? Well, the minus 2 is on its own, so I'm going to get rid of that first. Plus 2 plus 2. Alright, so what does that give me? 5x. Okay, minus 2 plus 2 is nothing. 7 over 4 plus 2. That'll be, we'll get your calculator out, that's going to be 15 on 4. Okay, so just double check that on your calculator. You don't want to make silly mistakes in these, so 7 over 4 plus 2, 15 on 4, that's correct. Now, what's next? Well, I want to get the x by itself. Notice there is a times sign between the x and the 5. Do the opposite, divide by 5. Divide by 5. The 5's cancel. And x is equal to 15 on 4 divided by 5. Use your calculator for that as well. That should be 15 on 20, which is 3/4. Let's just do that on the calculator. 15 over 4 divided by 5. 3/4. Okay. So, 3/4. There we go. That's your answer. How did you go? Alright. Now let's have a look at another type of question. So, this will be question number 3. I want you to make sure all this is copied down. Question number 3. We have 3w on 10 equals 2 fifths. Okay, so again, what I'd like you to do is write down the word solution. There we go. Write the question again. Yep. Now, we just want to get rid of the denominator for the pronumeral term. So, times by 10, times by 10. Alright, why do we do that? Because there's divide by 10, the opposite is times by 10. Cancel numerator with denominator. Okay, 3w equals, use your calculator for this bit. Think of this as 10 over 1 if you like. So that should be 20 on 5, which is 4. 2 fifths times 10, 20 on 5, which is 4. Right? Just use your calculator for that bit. You don't even have to put the 1 there. Okay, last step. There's a times there, don't forget. Opposite of times 3, divide 3, both sides. Cancel the 3's. So your answer is W equals, there's a W there, let me just fix it up. W equals 4/3. There we go. Alright, copy that down. And I want you to have a go at question 4 by yourself. This is the hashtag example. Okay, here it is. 2m on 7 equals minus 3/4. Okay, for the solution, I want you to write that down again. Okay, now if you like, pause the video, have a go at the question, see what you get. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the denominator in the pronumeral term. Times 7 times 7. Cancel numerator with denominator. Now, that gives me 2m equals, it'll be negative 21 on 4. Use your calculator for that bit there. And last of all, times by 2 is there. I've got to get rid of the times by 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. That's going to give you, after we cancel the 2's, m is equal to minus 21 over 8. Alright? Again, I would use your calculator for that step there. So just put in minus 21 over 4. Minus 21 over 4. And then divide by 2. Minus 21 over 8. Okay, so how did you go? Make sure there's a copy down into your notes. Alright? Now, we looked at equations with one pronumeral term, equations with fractions with one pronumeral term. Now we're going to do two pronumeral terms. Okay, so I'm going to rub these out now. So your new subheading is two pronumeral terms. Copy this down as well, solve these equations, and we're up to question 5. Now I'm going to do one and then you will do one by yourself. Okay, so we've got 2m over 3 minus m over 2 equals 2. Alright, now just like before, I'm going to write the word solution underneath and copy the question out again so you don't draw on top of the original question. Whoops, should be an L there. Solution. Okay, so we've got the question, 2m over 3 minus m over 2 equals 2. Rightio. Now, with these questions I have two pronumeral terms, two fractions. Alright, when you've got two pronumeral terms involving fractions, you want to get a common denominator. So the first thing I want to do is get a common denominator. That is, I'm just going to look at 3 and 2. The easiest way to do it is to take the 2, multiply it over here, multiply the denominator and the numerator by the 2, take the 3 and multiply by the 3, multiply by the 3. There we go. That will give me 4m, so 2 times 2m is 4m, 2 3s is 6, minus 3 times m is 3m, 3 times 2 is 6, equals 2. Notice the denominator is common, that's what we want. Now we've got a common denominator, we can actually simplify this. This will be 4m minus 3m over 6. So put it over a single denominator. Okay, equals 2. Right, so we want a so the steps are common denominator, then single. Actually, that doesn't show up too well. Let me rub that out. You want a single denominator. Okay, so common denominator to the single denominator. The next step is to simplify. 4m minus 3m is m. Okay, so the next step is to simplify. Okay, simplify. And then the last step will be to get the m by itself, you're going to times by 6, cancel numerator with denominator, and the final answer is m equals 12. There we go. Alright, copy that whole thing down into your notes, and then you're going to try the next question by yourself, which is this one, number 6. This will be the hashtag question you do on your own. So it's 3k over 5 minus 5k over 7 equals, and we'll do negative 6. Alright, try that one there. Negative 6. So pause the video, have a go, see how you go with that one. Alright, so just in your notes again, write down the word solution, write the question out again. Make the easiest way to get a common denominator. Take this denominator here and multiply it by the other one. Do the same thing to the numerator. Take this denominator of 5 times the other denominator by 5 and then times also the numerator. What you do to the numerator and denominator must be the same. Okay, so what's that going to give us? 7 3s are 21, so 21k on 35 minus 5k times 5 is 25k on 35 equals negative 6. That's a 6 there. Alright, next question. Oh, it's the next part of the question. Okay, now, remember the steps? Common denominator, single denominator. Right. So, single denominator next, so we're going to go 21k minus 25k over 35 equals 6. Okay, so that's the single denominator step. Next step was to simplify. So 21k minus 25k is minus 4k divided by 35 equals, oops, that should be negative 6, shouldn't it? Negative 6 there. Negative 6. Rightio. Next step, get rid of the denominator here, so times by 35. Times by 35. Okay, so cancel numerator with denominator. Minus 4k equals, now 6 times 35, get your calculator out for that. You should get negative 230, but you don't want to make mistakes with this, so minus 6 times 35, it's negative 210 actually, not negative 230, negative 210, negative 210, and then last step, now don't forget there's a times sign here. You're not going to add 4, you're actually going to divide by negative 4 on both sides, okay? The negatives 4 cancel, and then k will equal, get your calculator out for this, it's going to be a positive number, 210 divided by 4 equals 52.5. Make sure you're using the calculator for your arithmetic so you don't make silly mistakes. Okay, so 52.5 is your answer. Okay? Alright. Next question. Second last question. We've got number 7. And this will be, so let me just change the answer. K equals, because I changed the question there, 52.5. Alright, so next question is x minus 1 over 2 equals x plus 1 on 5. Solution. Okay, so for the solution, I want you to write the question down again so you don't muck up the original problem. Now, for this question, we have a fraction on one side, a fraction on the other. Same thing as before, we want a common denominator. So, times by 2. Now, you have to put brackets here, times by 2, right? Because you're timesing the whole numerator by 2, which is why you need the brackets. Here, take the 2, times by 2, and times by 2. Okay? Now, that gives us 2 bracket, do not expand yet, and then we have, what's that there? Whoops, that's a mistake, isn't it? Okay, come back to that one. I should have taken the 5 there, shouldn't I? My bad. Okay, times by 5, times by 5. I should have taken that denominator there and times, that's correct now. All good? Now, that'll be a 5. 5 2s are 10 equals, then 2, keep the brackets in there. I just want you to do one step at a time. Okay, now, so far we've got common denominators, which is good, that's what we want. Now, these questions are a little bit different. Now you've got common denominators, right? Okay, if the denominators are equal, the numerators are equal. So the next step for these questions is to equate the numerator. Okay, equate the numerator. So you've got 5 x minus 1 equals 2x plus 1. Right, create numerators. Now you can expand the brackets. 5x minus 5 equals 2x plus 2. Now you've got two pronumeral terms here. Here we go. Two pronumeral terms. So you're going to get rid of one of these. So I'm going to take away 2x. Take away 2x. That's going to give me 3x minus 5 equals 2. Okay, that 2 is still there. And then coming over here, now that's going to be 3x minus 5 equals 2. Right, get rid of the minus 5, it's on its own. 5, add 5 to both sides. That gives you 3x equals 7. And then divide both sides by 3. That gives you x equals 7/3. Okay, there we go. Right, double checking that's correct. Now, copy all of that down. I'm going to show you a different method as well for the same question. I'm trying to show you the one method for all types of questions, but for this particular problem, there is an alternative method which is a little bit quicker. Okay, so I'm just going to write that down up here before I give you one to do by yourself. So put down alternative method. Alternative method. Now, I'll call this the cross multiplying method, okay? Cross multiplying. Now, it only works for this type of question. So, here's my original question, x minus 1 on 2 equals. Now, how do you know if you can use this alternative method? It works if you've got one fraction equal to another fractional term. Then you can cross multiply. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Okay, so one fraction equals another fraction. Yes, you can cross multiply. Otherwise, don't do it. So cross multiplying means I'm going to multiply these two together and multiply these two together. So it's going to be 5 times x minus 1, don't forget the brackets, equals 2 brackets x plus 1. Okay? Now you can see I've got no denominators anymore. I'm taking the denominator and putting it here, taking the denominator and putting it here. Then expand the brackets. 5x minus 5 equals 2x plus 2. You can see that I'm up to the same stage as before. Get rid of one of your pronumeral terms, minus 2x, minus 2x. And then 3x minus 5 equals 2. Okay, so add 5, add 5. 3x equals 7. And the last of all, divide 3, cancel. That leaves you with x equals 7 over 3. It's a 7 there. Okay, so same answer as before, but slightly different method. So make sure you copy down that alternative method, and then I want you to do this last question by yourself. And I don't mind which method you use. You can use the common denominator method or the cross multiplying. So this last one here, this will be our last question. It's the hashtag one. Okay, so it's 2k minus 1 over 5 equals k plus 1 over 6. Now again for this one, write down the word solution and then write the question out again so you don't draw on top of the question. Okay. Rightio, so have a go at that one, see what you think. So, I'm going to do this question two ways. And that way, whichever way you chose, you'll be able to check your working out. So first way I'm going to do is the cross multiplication way. So that way and that way, don't forget the brackets. So 6 outside of 2k minus 1 equals 5 brackets times by k plus 1. This particular question, this is the fastest way. Expand the brackets, 12k minus 6 equals 5k plus 5. Okay? Now, I've got two pronumeral terms. Alright? Get rid of one of them. Right, so that's going to give me 7k minus 6 equals 5. Then plus 6, 7k equals 11. And then last of all, divide by 7, that's a 7 there. 7's cancel, and you get k equals 11 on 7. That's your answer. Alright, now you're going to have a look at the second method with me now. So that's the cross multiplication method. So method 2, or I'll put down alternatively. Okay, here's the question, 2k minus 1 on 5 equals k plus 1 on 6. Alternatively, times by 6, times by 6, times by 5, times by 5. Alright, so that gives me 6 brackets 2k minus 1 over 30 equals 5 brackets k plus 1 over 30. Okay? Then equate the numerators. Okay? The denominators are equal, so the numerators must be equal. So you get 12k minus 6 equals 5k plus 5 minus 5k minus 5k. Then you're going to get 7k minus 6 equals 5 plus 6 plus 6. 7k equals 11. Okay, and last of all, divide 7, cancel, and you get k equals 11 over 7. Okay, k equals 11 over 7. There we go. Alright, so both methods work. It's up to you which one you use. Now, for the questions I want you to do from your textbook, which you're going to upload your answers to, or you're working out once you do it, this is what I want you to do from the textbook. Okay, so here it is. It is exercise 602. 602. And I want you to do question 3 every second problem. And then I want you to do question 4, A and B. Okay? So that's all I want you to do. Basically half the questions. You should be okay with that. Any questions, you can email me and I'll work them out for you. Alright, that's the end. See you next lesson.